Welcome back to One Foot In. I'm Ohana, he's Winn, and we were just talking about this, but this may be the single most important podcast, the biggest podcast
in history.
And certainly in our history.
Yeah.
Because it's Indiana Ohio State week, and if
Yeah.
there's one thing we've done on this show consistently, episode in, episode out, from week one, we have championed the Indiana Hoosiers, and I'm so excited to talk about that game.
10, baby.
Sig 10. I'm so excited to talk about that game. I'm so excited to talk about some other games for the weekend.
Yes.
I'm, of course, excited, but, I'm all the way excited about giving my lock of the week, and I'm sure you are too, because you know what? We're going to hit this week as we have not done
and
the
past 2 weeks. Look at us, dude. We look great.
Listen,
we look awesome.
The weather is beautiful.
Immaculate.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you guys feel the energy? We're back in our room.
We're back in our room. We're nice and focused.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my
We're
goodness.
in such good focus.
And we get to complain at the end of the episode. Back in the courtroom. Oh, my goodness. It's all lining up us.
All right, let's do it. Let's jump right in.
Yep.
Indiana goes to Ohio State. If
Yep.
you would have told me beginning of the season that this was going to be the biggest game that we talk about on this podcast, I'd be like, what is going on in college football? Man, this is fun. And I got to be honest, too. I love the old way of the national championship, right? The top 2 teams go at it. But, man, the way that the playoff is expanded now, in fairness, it makes things exciting. Like, it makes these games super exciting. There's so much slip in all of this, you know what I mean? Because if one team wins and one team loses, depending on which team it is,
100%.
we're going to see a different playoff,
most
likely. So, all right, let's get into this game. So, Indiana undefeated on the season.
Right.
Ohio State's only loss to Oregon.
Yeah.
Ohio State minus 12.
Yep.
Minus 12. Interesting, because what would tell me as a viewer that Indiana's going to lose this game, right? Like, what about it? I haven't seen anything this season that would make me think to myself, Indiana should lose this game. Now, on the flip side, I've watched Ohio State play and say that's a great football team.
100%.
Right? A great football team.
Talent-wise, maybe the best.
So, I'm going to say something that I personally think matters.
Right.
And it's up to the viewer at home to decide if they think this matters.
Okay.
Or you.
Okay.
Ohio State will be playing their 5th straight game.
Yeah.
Indiana is coming off a bye week. Does that matter?
100%. And we saw it last week with Oregon too. They had played 8 straight games, I believe. They had the bye early in the season, and they played 8 straight games, and not 8. And there were no random out of conference games. It was 8 straight Big Ten conference, tough conference games, and they were rolling. And then they had Wisconsin was a challenge, and I just think they were exhausted from all those games. And so I think games piling up like this, playing in a row, and obviously 8 is more than 5. Especially, in football, it's significantly more than 5. But I still think this matters. Yeah. And I think coupled with the fact that Indiana's fresh off that bye, so it's 5 straight against 0 straight. And it's like, okay, so we've got a battle of attrition. And by the way, this shows up in things like practice injuries. Like Ohio State, their center now, Seth McLaughlin, he suffered a torn Achilles tendon. He's out for the year.
Damn.
And that's obviously huge, and they've had O-line injuries. Josh Simmons, their tackle, was hurt earlier in the season, and that was a point of concern for us when we talked about them. So, 100% agree with you on that point. And I also agree with you about, from what we've seen this season, why would I think Indiana's going to lose?
Yeah.
Now, I've heard the noise, you've heard the noise, and I'm very happy that we, as a podcast, are not or do not represent the people that will get on their mics or will use their platforms to complain about the fact that the SEC teams are being unfairly treated and that they should get better treatment or unequal treatment because they're in the SEC and they play the SEC schedule, but Indiana should not. Then this is a narrative that's been going on, that Indiana shouldn't have this high ranking, that all these SEC teams should be ranked above them because they're in the SEC, which, pick a lane, right? All these years of the 14 playoff has been complaints about we see the same teams over and over again, and it's always these same teams, and it's boring, and why don't we give these other teams a shot that were undefeated and deserved it? Last year, there was uproar about FSU missing it.
Yeah.
Right? And then this year we do get different teams, and we get this Indiana, this awesome story, and they're 10-0. And yeah, sure, their schedule hasn't been incredible so far, but they're going to get a chance to prove it against Ohio State.
Yeah.
We believe in them, though. We believe in them. And so I hope Indiana hears that disrespect, and I'm sure they do. I'm sure the head coach of the Sig 10, Kurt Cignetti, has been playing this audio from guys like Ryan Russillo and all the ESPN guys over and over, and I'm sure Curtis O'Rourke and all the Indiana Hoosiers, this great team, they have been great this year, have heard the disrespect, and I think that's going to fuel them.
And I want to say something about this too, because I'm looking at Indiana's schedule right now. Haven't played a ranked opponent.
Yeah.
But you know what they have done? They've played the same teams Ohio State has played.
100%.
You know what one of those teams is? Nebraska. I mean, I know you know that. Nebraska, Indiana beats 56-7. Yeah. Nebraska, Ohio State squeaks out a win. Squeaks out a win. Now look, it's football. It's sports. Week by week is different. Right. I get that. I know it's not a math equation. I get that. But you're telling me that doesn't mean something? I mean, maybe not to you. And look, this is the thing too. I'm going to take this kind of from a different angle here. I mean, as you guys notice, we're not sitting here talking like football strategies. We'll get to the end about who we think is going to win, but I think that the head coach position is so important. Okay, it's so important.
In no sport more than football.
No sport more than football. We've seen it time and time again. It just is. And a guy like Kurt Cignetti is a legitimate firepower coach, right? Like I really do believe that. And you might say, well, he hasn't been at a major program yet. Well, he is now. I mean, he's at a top.
If a guy keeps winning, if all a guy does is win, then
what are you supposed to say?
Yeah.
You give him a bye week to have the most important game of his life. And what's to tell me, as somebody who's watched Ohio State for the past few years, say Ryan Day is going to come on top of that? Like, what's to tell me that? What would make me think that Ryan Day would beat Kurt Cignetti? I don't know.
I agree. I mean, and we discussed this before the Oregon game. About his struggles against top-ranked teams. We discussed, and then he lost to Oregon. But 100%, like that's totally valid, and I totally agree with that. And it feels almost like we're disparaging Cignetti and Indiana for not having had the chance to prove it yet. But we don't mind propping up Ohio State when they've proved that they do fall short in those spots a lot. And so I just have a problem with that. And I don't appreciate that. And I don't think Indiana appreciates it either. And I think, they're a great coach team. And a great coach team, they come prepared. And Ohio State, they might just be tired. And we'll see. We'll see on Saturday.
Now, I do want to say something here too, though. Ohio State is a great team.
No,
they're
100%.
A fantastic team. We're being very.
They're the number 2 ranked team team for a reason.
And I want to say something. We're being very pro Indiana because we think a lot of people aren't.
It's almost a defensive kind of thing.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Like, look, I get scheduling, I get all that. Yeah. But if you give a team a schedule and they play it.
Yeah.
What are they supposed to do?
Right.
So, let's get into what we think is going to happen.
Okay.
Ohio State minus 12. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard because I really do believe that this game could go either way. I do.
Oh, 100%.
I think the turnover battle is going to be huge. Will Howard can't throw.
No.
Picks.
Neither quarterback can turn.
Neither quarterback. I think Rourke is a better quarterback than Will Howard. You can have people can take their.
He's been exceptional this year.
Stance on that. You know what? I definitely could see. I see a lot of worlds of Ohio State winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of worlds where Ohio State can win this game and cover.
Mm.
I see a lot of worlds where Ohio State squeaks this one out by a point, 2 points, 3 points. Give me Indiana.
Mm-hmm. I love that because I agree with that. And I think it's easy to envision Ohio State just dominating because that's the image of Ohio State we have in our head. That's the Ohio State that, for the most part, we've seen this year. And they don't have many weaknesses, really, at all. But where they do, they can get got defensively. And that defense is incredible. But on the outside, those two corners have shown that they can get got deep.
Yeah.
And I think Indiana they can attack that and they can exploit that. And I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. for both teams,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a close, high-scoring game as well. It's going to be shootout-esque, and I could see this being 35-32, 38-35, but I think Indiana is going to win this game. And again, maybe it's us having been Indiana fans the whole way that's kind of carrying us through this, and maybe not even maybe. There's 100% emotion involved in this.
Yeah.
And because honestly, I want to see Indiana win. I want to see Indiana win so all the complainers can shut up, frankly, and not have any leg to stand on. Even though they'll champion Texas, which, by the way, I'm a huge Texas fan, but who has Texas beat? Vanderbilt? That's their best win. So, like, give me a break. I know they're playing the SEC, but their best wins are Vanderbilt and Arkansas. That doesn't move me, even though I think Texas is great. Again, it's not even a Texas thing. So, I like Indiana in this one as well, and we're in agreement, and I'm so excited to watch it.
I'm going to say something real quick, too. Ohio State, statistically, number 1 defense in the country. 10.3. Indiana, statistically, number 2 offense in the country.
Strength on strength.
Unstoppable object versus immovable force. No, unstoppable force versus immovable object.
Yeah.
I feel like we can clip so many random things from this
We can.
Yap session. I love it. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, we're excited.
So
Very excited. But, like I said, I see a lot of worlds where Ohio State wins this game and could win by a lot. So, very interested to see how this game goes, plays out, and we will dive into it. But right now, let's dive into the rundown.
Okay. I know I just said I'm very excited to watch Indiana Ohio State, and I am, and I will be watching it. But I will also be watching Ole Miss Florida in the stadium.
Yeah,
so
gonna be a little conflicted.
So
there.
it's gonna be got the phone out, little glances, watch DJ Lagway, little glances at Indiana. But I'm excited for that. Let's just say I'm excited for that. But Ole Miss Florida, I'm very excited for this game as well because this game means so much more today than it did a week ago, last Friday.
Insane.
Because Florida went out and beat LSU in the Swamp
on
Saturday afternoon, which felt like a Saturday night because of daylight saving time. Shout out to daylight saving times.
Oh my God, it was bliss. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be
tomorrow.
Beautiful.
It's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be beautiful.
I love it. I love it.
Little noon game, but it's gonna feel not like a noon game. It's gonna feel like a Big Ten game.
Simple 9 a.m. tailgate. Simple.
It doesn't get better mimosas.
I need to go buy those now.
Oh, we just have them.
Yeah, but I need to get those now before. Oh.
Yeah, we just serve.
You're rich.
Right.
Okay, anyways.
Like,
we'll talk about
that's what we do for morning.
anyways. Yeah, but I want some at the house, dude. At the house. Okay, anyways. Doesn't matter. Ole Miss -10.
Yeah.
Well, it opened at -10, but now it's up to 11.5. Well,
I had it at 10.5.
10.5?
Yeah.
It's moving.
It's moving. There's action.
It's moving toward Ole Miss, which is interesting. Why?
Honestly, okay. Let me give you why I think this is happening from the outside perspective. Then let me give you my perspective. From the outside perspective, I suppose it's happening. The bettors feel that Florida's overvalued coming off that win against LSU, and that Ole Miss is just too good of a team, that LSU is not that good of a team. And then, Ole Miss is coming off that bye week, off that Georgia win. Ole Miss has a lot of things going in their favor, and they have an incredible defense. And so, yeah, I would say that's kind of the story of that line. But to me, I do think this Florida team is very good. And we discussed it last episode. I think there's a top 20 team right now in terms of how they're playing, which, yeah, I mean, listen, when DJ Lagway is on the field for the Florida Gators, they're a completely different team than without him. And more than that, they're not just a completely different team than without him, because most teams are without their quarterback. They're a really good team. They're a scary team with him, and they're an explosive team with him. They're a team that doesn't need the ball that much to really damage you. They only had the ball 18 and a half minutes against LSU.
Crazy.
And they put up those 27 points because DJ Lagway can attack the field vertically, and so can those Florida receivers, and they can run the ball. And so that offense is dangerous when it gets rolling with that guy at quarterback. And that defense has played so much better the past few weeks. And they've challenged these SEC teams like Tennessee and Georgia, and they beat LSU. And so I think 10.5 is going to get covered by Florida.
I do too.
I think it's going to be a close game, even if Ole Miss wins, which they absolutely should be favored. And Jackson Dart and Trey Harris should be coming back.
Which is huge.
Which is huge for them. That's another weapon.
I don't know if he's 85. Like, I don't know what percent he's at, but if he's above 80-something percent, I mean, that is a playmaker.
100%.
Wide receiver.
No, I mean, he'll be just having him on the field will be huge for them.
Yeah.
And again, that defense is phenomenal for Ole Miss.
They made Georgia look horrible.
They made Georgia look pedestrian, and then Georgia goes out and rolls Tennessee, essentially. So, I think Florida's a real threat here.
To me, this game is really big for Lane Kiffin.
Oh, 100%.
Because I've said a lot of times throughout this season, okay, well, this is a prove-it game. This is a prove-it whatever. This is a prove-it game for Lane Kiffin. Because it's one thing to beat a team at home, right, and have a big whatever, and great.
Yeah.
It's another thing to say to yourself, oh, this team that we probably weren't thinking about a lot this season, now is completely different. We got to go on the road to a hostile SEC environment on a team that is on an insane up at a noon kickoff.
Yeah.
Okay? And, this is college football. These things matter.
Yeah.
These things matter.
Oh, 100%.
So, I got to be honest with you, though. I don't think Florida's going to win this game. Mm-hmm. I don't. I think that something would have to really happen. I think Dart would have to throw some bad interceptions or a pick six somewhere, or they're going to have a sloppy turnover somewhere that Florida can collect easy points off of. Because in fairness, that's kind of what they got off of LSU. They started in great field position on so many drives.
Yeah.
But I think that Ole Miss is legitimately at this point now where they're going to say, you know what, it's our time. Mm-hmm. I think Florida feels great after LSU. I do, but I don't. I think Ole Miss is better than LSU, even though they lost.
No,
LSU, 100%. Which was a weird.
Game. They should not have lost that.
LSU game. Didn't lead that game until
they won.
They won.
Yeah.
But there is the other component of me that says this is the same team that lost to Kentucky at home, that lost to LSU. So I think right now Ole Miss is at the point where I think they're locked in. I think they get it done. I have Florida covering. I think it'll probably be a 3 to 7 point game. I think it'll be close throughout. However, there is the reality, in my opinion, of this game getting blown open early. I mean, if Florida's defense continues to play how they've been playing, then they're going to be okay. Then this will be close.
Yeah.
But I still personally don't have enough of a gauge, enough evidence that Florida, I have a consistent mindset of what Florida will look like, right? Because Florida's D-line played fantastic last week.
Yeah.
Where has that been?
Right.
That just comes out of nowhere? Well, okay, if you can sustain that, then you have a chance. But if that goes back to being in the back of the closet, then you're going to lose. So I got Ole Miss in this game. I got Florida to cover.
Yeah. I think you made a key point at the start there. And it's actually one that Lane Kiffin was on The Herd with Colin Cowherd doing an interview. And at the end, Cowherd goes, is this game in the swamp? Like, is this game away in Florida? And then Kiffin's like, yeah. And then Cowherd goes, that's a swamp. That's a tough place to play. It gets loud there.
Yep.
And then Kiffin's like, yeah, listen, I remember we played Tebow and them back in the swamp back in the day, and they were the number 1 ranked team, and it was loud. And he knows it's going to be loud. At noon. It's going to be, I'll tell you what, this is a take. Here's a take for you. We talked about the weather being beautiful at the start of the show. That matters for the fans. If it was a noon game earlier in the season and it was just steaming hot, the energy is so much lower than it will be when everyone feels more than fine. Everyone is like enjoying themselves and I can't believe they're in this beautiful place and it's loud, but they're not.
Last home game of the season.
The energy is going to be high after the LSU win.
One of the best teams in the country.
Yeah. They're coming off an electric win, so that's going to carry over. The crowd is absolutely going to play a factor in this because they're
going to be 12 men on defense.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, listen, the Swamp has been known to be one of the loudest, home crowds in college football. And so I think that point is important. I think Kiffin knows that, and I think that team knows that in Ole Miss.
So who you got? You just want to say it. Just say it.
I want to pick Florida
Just
so
say
bad.
it. Just say it.
Well,
Just
here's
do
where
it.
I struggle because I also picked Ole Miss to make the playoff at the start of the season, and I've been an Ole Miss guy.
Yeah.
But I also love this Florida team.
I hated on Jackson Dart.
You did hate on Jackson Dart, and I think it's
But
interesting.
I was right about what I said.
Yeah.
I said he was not a Heisman Trophy winner.
No, he was not a Heisman Trophy winner, and he obviously is not. But he's played well. I think it's interesting because, Ole Miss cannot lose this game or they're done, and it's a complete failure of a season if they lose this game, regardless. Florida can lose this game by that 3 to 7 points and still feel like, wow, we just competed with a team that blew out Georgia in the last game.
They'll be happy.
And
not happy, but they'll be content.
Right, they'll be like it'll be equivalent to I don't know if it'll be equivalent to LSU win because that's a win and that's like that just felt huge. But it'll move recruits and all that stuff. It'll matter. So, you know what? I'm just gonna take Florida. I'm just gonna take Florida.
Do it.
Why not?
Why not?
I can't.
It's not a lock.
It's not a lock.
Lock of the week.
It's not a lock.
Have fun. Play the game. Roll the dice.
Am I picking with my heart here? Yeah. I'm picking with emotion? Yeah. But I'm picking Florida.
We'll see.
We will see.
We'll see. I'm excited to be in the swamp.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
All right. Now, we just talked about 2 SEC teams. Let's move on to how a big game that's not in the SEC is going to have a lot of factor in
implications.
The SEC. Implications in the SEC. Army is playing Notre Dame.
Yeah.
In the past, this has been a who cares?
Right.
And you know what? You guys know my sentiment on Notre Dame. I'm not a fan of it. Don't like Brian Kelly, and he was there at Notre Dame forever. So, anyways, that has nothing to do with today, though. Now they got handsome Marcus Freeman out there.
Shout out.
Marcus Freeman is like the Jalen Hurts of coaches.
He'd be a good third co-host of the One Foot In Pod.
Marcus Freeman?
He's handsome.
I feel like he'd be boring as hell.
He would be boring. Probably. Maybe not.
Just mewing the whole time up here. Okay, anyways. Army hasn't lost a game.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame has lost one game. 2, Northern Illinois.
Shout out. Who, at one point, I remember.
Was in my
was in your playoff. That was a time. That was a time.
Army goes into Notre Dame. The spread on that game is, I think it's 13.
I'm under pressure here. It's not a crazy spread. It's around 14. I remember that. It's around 14.
I think it's like 13 and a half.
Oh, it is 14 and a half.
14 and a half.
Notre Dame, 14 and a half point favorites.
Okay, but in their defense, Army's best win is Temple.
Shout out Temple. They fired their head coach.
North Texas, I guess. Is their best win. Army doesn't throw the ball. 85 passing yards per game. Not ideal. Army is the best statistically rushing team in the country, 335.
An unreal stat.
Points against, 10.3. But again, they haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
Give me Army to cover. Don't care. Period. Now, will they win? I don't know, because what evidence do I have to tell me how this game is going to go?
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
What's Notre Dame's best win? I don't even know.
I'm looking through it right now. Yeah, Florida State.
Louisville.
They barely beat them. Purdue 66-7 is pretty hilarious. Oh, Texas A&M.
But that was
Week
Connor
1.
Wegman.
That was Connor Wegman.
That doesn't count.
I mean, I guess it has to be their best win just because their other wins aren't all that.
I think Louisville at that time was more complete.
Yeah, Louisville's.
I really don't want Notre Dame to win. I would love Army to go there, control the ball for 3/4 of time, and just beat them by a field goal or a touchdown. I would love that. I doubt it's going to happen, though.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame they're a more complete team. They've been tested here before. They're also, again, playoff implication team. Now, not to say that Army isn't.
Right.
But I think it's a little bit different. I don't have enough evidence to tell me that Army wins this game.
Yeah.
I wish I did because I want them to, but I'm going to take Army to cover, Notre Dame to win here.
I think Notre Dame's in a sticky situation here because I think they're going to roll. I think they're going to blow out Army.
Wow.
And then people will be asking, is Notre Dame the most unpatriotic program in America?
You okay?
Because Notre Dame defeated Navy. And then they're going to beat Army? Like, you can't do that. You can't blow out Navy and then blow out Army and then say you represent America. Well, maybe they don't because they don't really represent a conference. Notre Dame's kind of weird. I think we've established a dislike for Notre Dame. But anyways, I think Notre Dame's going to roll. That's not really what's interesting about this game, though. It's the SEC implications of this game. Because I'll tell you one team that is rooting for Army like nobody else. Like maybe not even Army fans. And that's Tennessee. By the way, Tennessee also rooting for Florida, but more rooting for Army here. Because if a Notre Dame win and you lose to Army and NIU, you're not making the playoffs.
You're done.
You're just done. That's your season. You don't get a chance at a conference championship because you're not in a conference.
Yep.
And so I think you're done at that point. Notre Dame, they're in trouble. Well, they would be in trouble. Tennessee, rooting like hell. And so are all the SEC fanboys that would like to disparage all other conferences. So those two cannot, their weekend would be made with an Army win.
And it probably won't happen.
Probably won't happen.
So then Notre Dame will lose in the first round of the playoff, and it'll be great because of course that's what's going to happen.
Likely.
Of course that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I would love Army to win. And if Army wins, we're going to have a great next episode because then we're really going to get to dive into what everything is going to look like. If Army wins and Ole Miss loses, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
That would be fun.
And would Tennessee even make it? Because one of the Big 12 teams has to make it.
I'm interested.
Keep
your eye on that game. Don't watch it because who cares? I mean, watch it. Watch
every game.
Watch Army's drives. They're the best. Run.
They are going to run it.
4-yard pass. Run. 5-yard pass. Run. Incompletion. Run. It's awesome. Score. Oh, 2.5 quarters just went by.
Yeah.
Sick. Love it.
Short game.
Love it. Yeah, keep an eye on that. What do we got next?
Lock of the week.
Lock of the week. Now, this is big for us.
Huge.
As the listeners know, we've both lost the last 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Inexcusable. Now, wasn't all our faults.
Well, it's actually not our fault at all.
Yeah, none of it's our fault.
Yeah, the team's gotta be better.
I need one.
Yeah.
I need one.
You need one.
You need one. You need them. You need both.
You
need the next two, but I need one because I have a bet going that I'm going to get my ears pierced.
Yeah.
If I don't, so I need one. Am I one? As I'm sitting here scrolling through earlier. Texas A&M goes into Auburn.
Yeah.
You think to yourself, what? Oh, that's a win for A&M. Simple. Probably a multiple touchdown win against an Auburn team that has been unbelievably disappointing all season long. I don't even know what they're 4-6. 4-6.
Yeah.
They're coming off of a huge win, Auburn, against Louisiana Monroe.
Shout out.
Auburn's best win of the season, Kentucky.
They even lost to Oklahoma.
They lost to Oklahoma.
Yikes.
The spread on this game is 2.5. Favoriting Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I'm hitting that every single day of the week, even if Connor Wegman's the quarterback. Mm-hmm. But guess what? It's going to be Marcel Reed. He's going to run laps around them. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, but Auburn doesn't get blown out usually. They played decently against Georgia, 31-13 if you want to call that decently. Auburn, the core of their team is good. They turn the ball over too much. Yeah, the core of their team is good. They turn the ball over too much. They don't know how to win. They don't know how to win. A&M is still in the hunt.
Yeah.
They're still in the hunt. They still want this. And what? You're telling me that Auburn's roster is better? You think that Auburn's better coached than A&M? Hell no. A&M minus 2.5 every day of the week. And I said to Eitan, if A&M doesn't cover, I'm not even going to be mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be, like, the A&M people will be so unbelievably mad in and of themselves that I won't even care.
No.
I won't even care. This, I don't even know. I don't understand how this is minus 2.5. And if this misses, everybody at home, you can't even be mad at me. Because but it's in Auburn. Yeah?
Doesn't matter.
What do those fans have to cheer for? Who cares? That's my lock of the week. Need it. Want it, need it, gotta have it.
I think you're going to get it. I mean, Auburn stinks.
That's what we thought against last week with Oregon against Wisconsin.
Right.
That did not work.
That did not work, but this is only 2.5 points. I mean, come on. It's Auburn. It's Auburn. Texas A&M, they have their struggles. Against Auburn, come on. Do us a favor.
Do it.
I'm going to go back in the well. Well, actually, I've never picked this team for lock of the week, but I have talked about this team a lot and how much I love this team, how much I think they're going to win the Big 12, how much I truly believe that. That, of course, is Colorado, who are only 3-point favorites against Kansas. Now, Kansas, credit to them, they do scare me. They did make me think about this line.
They're on parallel with Florida in the term of haven't played great this season.
And then all of a sudden, they start 1-5 to the year, and they're losing all these one-score games. And this is a team that a lot of people had high expectations for. A quarterback that was expected to be in the Heisman race.
Jalen Daniels.
Yeah, and then
Jalen
Daniels. Jalen Daniels is a Heisman. Apparently naming your son.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels is a Heisman. Did I say Jalen?
Yeah.
Too many J Daniels. Jalen Daniels was in the Heisman conversation at the start of the season, preseason. Yeah. And then Kansas season just kind of fell apart with these one-score losses. They start 1-5. Didn't
get off the floor.
Didn't get off the floor. But then they start piling up these wins, and then it culminates the past 2 weeks with a win over Iowa State and then a win over BYU, our BYU, a heartbreaker for us. BYU was locked 2 weeks ago against Utah. But BYU lost to this Kansas team, which means they can play upset. I don't think they're going to do it against Colorado, though. I just think Colorado they're different. Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders are different. Colorado is riding high, by the way, going into this weekend because they just got a commitment from 5-star quarterback Juju Lewis, who flipped to them from USC. I think he's number 2 player in the country ranked.
Yeah. He's behind Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, I think so. So they get a huge recruit. They're feeling good. There's a lot of chatter about Deion to the Cowboys, Deion to the NFL. That's been a big narrative. So I think they're going to want to go out there and say, nah, we're still the Colorado Buffaloes, and we're a good team. You guys have seen us play this year. We're a good team, and we're gonna beat this Kansas team that beat the BYU team that was beating everyone else, and we're gonna show that we're the best team in this conference, and we're gonna win it, and we're gonna go to the playoff. And so I think they win by more than 3. That's for sure. Obviously, that's what I'm picking. But I think they're gonna win big, and I think they're just gonna. When they roll, they roll. When they're looking good, they look good. They
scored 49.
They beat Utah 49-22. A Utah team that they don't get blown out. They've lost this. They've lost a lot this year. They don't get blown out. They blew them out. When they're playing their game, Colorado is hard to beat.
I'm gonna say 2 things about that game too, real quick. One, this game is gonna come down to this: can Kansas run the ball?
Yeah.
This is the thing. Daniels, great runner. The Jayhawks average just under 200 yards rushing with 24 touchdowns. However, I just lost where it was. God, dude, because an ad popped up about Legos, dude.
Shout out Legos.
Tracking me. However, Colorado rushing defense is 12th.
Mm-hmm.
12th. Second in the Big 12 in yards per carry allowed. So, can they contain? Can they keep Daniels out? I think they can. Also, too, the reason why the spread is close is because it's at Kansas.
Yes.
But Colorado loves playing on the road. They do. On the road. We've heard that a bunch, and you're like, oh well, when they played at Nebraska, they didn't look good. But that was week 2, and I wrote them off then, rightfully so. Oh, I said the name of who? What is it? He shall who not be named. What?
Yeah.
He who shan't be named.
No, not shan't.
Shan't?
No. He who shall. He who shall not. He who.
Oh my God!
Shall not be named.
Idiots.
Yeah,
dude.
we do
This is why
sound
we
like
don't do
idiots.
a Harry Potter podcast.
We do sound like it. It's he who shall not be named, though.
He who shall not be named. Yeah, but it's the okay. Anyways, But Colorado, they like being on
He
the road.
who must not be named.
He who must not be named.
Yeah, he who must not be named. You could do it with little hyphens or without. The more you know.
AP style?
AP style. You know who.
But yeah, because I can't say what I was going to say. Anyways, give me. Yeah, I like that. I don't know why I'm saying give me. You're taking it. But yeah, I like that. I am very confident about our
I feel good about our locks.
I feel good. All right.
We're going to be 2-0 again.
We're all positive now. Let's get all negative into our favorite segment, Complaint Courtroom. Complaint Courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
One of our favorite segments of every Friday episode. Yeah. You gotta love it.
You gotta love it. Shout out.
Simple cough.
Simple.
It's chill.
He's coughing out the positive energy.
Yeah, I gotta get him.
Gotta get negative. Gotta get mean.
Actually, mine's not that negative. I'm not gonna blow up today like I've blown up in the past because we're not talking about he
who must not be named.
He who must not be named, a.k.a. Brian Kelly. Because I can go on tangents about him. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about. Now, I have terrible news. You guys always see me with my black sunglasses on. Yeah. I lost them.
He lost the hater shades.
And you know what? You know what this guy asked me? Instead of being like, oh, man. What did you ask me? Where?
No, I was like, how?
How did I lose them?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you traced it. Maybe you figured it out after.
If I knew that, then I wouldn't have lost them.
Well, maybe you would have. I actually have something else to complain about. I just thought of it. Not college football related. No. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
I have a complaint.
So who wants to go first? So I have to borrow Eitan shades when I do these.
It's okay. The hater shades are hateful regardless.
They're so hateful.
Always hateful.
Who's going first, me or you?
I can go first.
Go first.
I can go first. I don't mind. Throw on the haters.
All right, 1 minute on the clock for you, sir. Put those bad boys on. Oh, yeah.
I look hateful.
You look like... No, you look chill.
I do.
Corduroy.
Shout out.
Should I wear my corduroy tonight?
Yeah.
You gonna wear that?
I'll wear.
Me and Eitan have a business meeting later.
We're meeting with some big... some big sponsors.
All right, 1 minute on the clock for Eitan to complain about. We are about to find out in 3, 2, 1, Gil.
Okay. This news broke recently about the performances during the college football playoff weekend. This is fun. I'm actually glad I get to complain about this. I don't even, I suppose this is me being hateful for the sake of being hateful, which I guess at points is the point of this segment. But the college football playoff in Atlanta announced that Camila Cabello, Glorilla, and Lil Wayne will perform during its AT&T Playoff Playlist Live event at the State Farm Arena. I think Lil Wayne is cool.
6'7".
He'll headline it. There you go. I mean, you've been singing him clearly, so you think it's cool too. Glorilla, she's got that song. She'll perform it, I'm sure. Camila Cabello, I know a lot of people dislike her. So I suppose I'm complaining on their behalf. But I don't know. I feel like you could do better.
10 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like you could do better for the most part, college football playoff. And I understand what you're trying to do, and I appreciate the performances, but Beyonce's performing at Thanksgiving or whatever, right? Or Christmas, I think.
I just don't really know if it matches the vibe.
It doesn't match the vibe.
Lil Wayne is lit, though.
Yeah.
But Camila Cabello, where does that come? Glorilla, I'm okay with.
Glorilla, yeah.
Because that'll fire me up.
Glorilla, Lil Wayne, I understand. And then Camila Cabello is like...
I don't need to hear... Havana,
right. That was
and then watch a bunch of grown men run into each other.
Yeah, that...
I like the second one, not the first part. Of the grown men running into each other.
That part's enjoyable.
It's chill.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, I guess I wasn't feeling too hateful either today.
No, we're kind. It's because of how good the weather is, dude.
It's how good the weather is, and it's really how
vibes.
positive. I mean, you heard our episode. We were even the teams we weren't believing in, or we were picking against. we were upping them, like Ohio State, like Ole Miss. Or I mean, I guess you picked Ole Miss, but yeah, we're just positive energy today.
Feeling good.
Yeah, let me throw on a minute for your...
Mine is actually a pro one.
Oh.
Okay, so...
This is a moderate... Throw on your minute for this moderately hateful little rant. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
One of my favorite college football players this season is Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
Who I met I met his doppelganger in a bar in Knoxville, Tennessee. Shout out Hannah's. I think it was. Hannah's is upstairs and downstairs on the outside? Yes. Shout out Evan. Anyways, I kid you not, I'm going to put a picture up on this video. It literally looks just like this guy, looks just like Pavia. But anyways, Pavia had played 2 years of JUCO, and then he was at New Mexico State, and then he transferred to Vanderbilt. This is going to be his last year of eligibility.
Yeah.
He said to the NCAA, he sued them and said, how are you going to count my 2 years of JUCO when I couldn't earn NIL money into that? They said, too bad, so sad, you knew it, you're done. Now, they're extending it. They're going to keep talking about it. I don't know all these legal words and all this stuff, but they're still looking into it. But the NCAA, give my boy another year. I love him. He reminds me of Tim Tebow, kind of Manziel a little bit too. Doesn't care. Got that run and gun style. Tough quarterback. I love tough quarterbacks. Give it to me. I want more Pavia.
Shout out Dago Pavia. I mean,
so I guess I'm complaining about the NCAA.
I can't really disagree with that. I'd love to see more Dago Pavia. I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I think we both love him. And yeah, give him.
He would earn expected value over $1 million of NIL next year. He's most likely not going to be an NFL quarterback. He's probably, I mean, you know, we know this. We know this. And man, I would love for my boy to get down there, keep Vanderbilt on that up. I want Vanderbilt, the whole thing, to improve. Yeah. Because when I went to Nashville, when Florida played them, when I was 2 years ago, when they lost, when Vanderbilt beat Florida, yeah, it was honestly sad because there were more Gator fans there than there were Vanderbilt fans there, and I get it. Like I get it. Not a great People want to travel to Nashville. They make a weekend out of it. And then Alabama comes in there and Vanderbilt beats them. Do you know how happy that made me? So happy. Who helped that? Diego Pavia. Not only helped that, led that. So I would love to see more of him. I would love to see Vanderbilt continue to incline. I have another complaint coming up soon. I was going to do it now, but I have to wait a little bit deeper into the season, and then want it to be more relevant. Excited. Now, you said that you had something that you wanted to say, that you wanted to complain about after. Do you remember?
Oh, no, I'm after the episode.
Oh, after the episode.
After the episode. Yeah.
Oh, to me personally?
Yeah, to you personally.
You're not going to let the people at
Actually, you know what? I'll just let the people at home know. Yeah. It doesn't really matter.
We like free speech here. We're not England.
Yeah, we we were at an event last night. We were. Networking, trying to get people. I mean, honestly, we weren't even the ones, people coming up to us, being like, "Wow, can we partner with you guys? We love your show."
I rolled my ankle. I'm wearing an ankle brace right now. You see it?
That is the ankle brace. No, I see it.
It hurts.
I thought that was a sock. But no, it's an ankle brace.
That's a sock. That's a sock.
That's a sock. That's an ankle brace.
And that's the ankle brace.
Yeah, I see the separation.
Bought it from Walgreens today. Is it helping? A little bit.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's good.
I woke up and it was purple.
Ooh, positive vibes. Well, anyways, at this event, I ordered a beverage. A specialty beverage. It was literally the special they had.
What was it?
The BPM.
BPM?
Yeah, that's what they called it.
What is that?
It was.
You didn't tell me about this.
It was literally on the bar. Yeah, it was like.
What is it?
Papers. It's like, what was it like? Double vodka and like a Red Bull.
Holy!
It was really good. I don't even know what it was. It was really good though. Very good. But I ordered one, and she makes two.
Okay.
Thank you. She makes two. I'm like, oh, I just want one. He's like, oh, okay. First I was like, wait, I get two for the price of one? And she was like, no, it's like. She says it's $16 for the two. I was told it was $8 for the thing. So I was like, oh, I just wanted one. She's like, oh, no problem. Let's give you one. So I get the one, and then I pay, and I see it's it's right. It's $8. I wake up this morning. I have a $16 charge.
Maybe you tipped her $8. 100% tip?
I did not tip her.
You're so kind.
I did not
tip her anything.
I did not tip $8. I did not.
Did you tip anything?
No, I always tip $1. You always tip $1, especially on the first order. You tip $1 on the first order.
Well, let's tell our audience how to drink properly at networking events. Dude, I was networking so well.
You were networking really well.
I was just complaining the whole time about how bad my ankle hurt.
Even fans came up to us. Not just.
When I was walking in the stadium, a fan stopped me.
Yeah. There's fans everywhere. Tuesday night, I had someone come up to me and tell me they love watching the show. True story. Anyways,
we know you do too.
Another classic ramble at the end of the episode.
We love this, dude. We should just make these their own videos.
They probably should
rambling.
Maybe their own podcast. It could be like OFI After Hours.
After dark.
After dark.
I've been asked if we can do an uncensored one.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
We might have to make an OnlyFans for that. OnlyFans is designed for just exclusive content. Yeah. You can post whatever you want on there.
No, you're right.
If you're into posting
after hour podcasts, I don't know.
Then you're good. If you're into posting other things, then you can do that.
Yeah.
Such a bad connotation around.
The world is your oyster. So is OnlyFans.
You ever had mountain oysters?
No.
You know what that is?
Uh-huh.
Moose balls.
Oh, really?
Like the testicles. No. Yeah. Bison balls, I think.
Oh, really?
The testicles of an animal of some degree. Mountain oysters.
Mountain oysters. Fascinating.
All right.
you probably stopped listening at this point, to be honest.
No, you're probably dialed.
You're
right
probably
now.
dialed. Hopefully you are. You probably looked up, the specialty drink, how to make it.
Mountain oysters.
You're probably 3 deep. Yeah, mountain oysters.
Now you know what a BPM is. How to
BPN,
tip.
I think BPN.
And no, it'd probably be M because it's beats per minute, and it was a networking event.
Oh,
music.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm a musician.
Whatever.
You know that. Ankle.
Shout out. You know that. You know how to network. You know how to look at that foot, that leg, that ankle.
1 foot in.
1 foot in.
Oh.
Bang! What a way to end it. That's a good little recall. Okay, well, I think that's pretty good. Please lock of the weeks. They will hit. Speaking of hitting, please hit that like and subscribe.
Comment a heart.
Go to our Instagram and our TikTok at 1 Foot In Pod, I think, for the most part.
Yeah,
you'll figure it out. You find it for that.
Look up Handsome Podcast Football.
College football.
Yeah.
College football expanding to more. You gotta include all that.
Also, too, we're gonna start cutting clips.
Yes,
and making YouTube videos.
Yes.
Around
little 5 to 8 minute YouTube segment.
We were gonna do it on the last one, but someone took our room and we had a problem.
Yeah, out of focus.
All right, we're at 53 minutes. We got to get this thing out.
Anyways, that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys on Tuesday for a recap episode. See you.